my son tells me everybody else is doing it, I tell him, if somebody else jumped a cliff, would you? Hello, I'm Bethany Posting, your host for Parents Just to Understand. On today's show, we'll try to shed light on why it's difficult for parents to understand the high levels of stress their teens go through on a daily basis, and this can lead to a rift between two parties. Then we'll begin with our teen panels, giving the teen perspective on everything from working to mental health and drugs. All this and more when we return on Parents Just to Understand. Discipline, relationship, fairness, all of these are issues that cause conflict between parents and teens. Here to discuss their experience, parental conflicts are Lancaster High juniors Cassidy Tillman and Shamariana Buford, and senior Fred Twinney. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. So, this one's about jobs. Do you think working a job and going to school is too much for teens? Why?
I say no. I don't think it is.
I don't really think it is, no.
I believe working a job and going to school is like teaching teens about responsibility in the real world, because a lot of teens always like hand-fed and stuff like that, but it's nothing like to get your own money and be able to manage your own time how you want to manage your own time. So once you get older, you can already know what you want to do and already have a job like resume and be able to do and cooperate in the work field, because you don't want to be like 18 or 20 going in the work field still being childish.
Yeah.
You want to get it all out once you're young. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, well, that was kind of my second question, so we're just gonna skip it. Does it really like keep teens out of trouble by keeping them busy? You know, like just not even jobs, just busy in general.
I feel like it could, because if you're not at work and you just at home bored, like you have nothing to do, you're like, oh well, let me go do this and that. Just have some type of fun in your life. When you having a job, you can be doing something else and actually getting paid for doing it instead of getting in trouble.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so with the job, do you think like the money can cause the problems? Like,
Of
you know,
course.
just because they have money doesn't make it worse for the kid?
I feel like more money, more problems, because like you got more things to get into.
Yeah, more responsibilities
Yeah.
with more money coming in.
Yep, and you can spend more and buy whatever now.
Yeah, and your parents really can't control what you're doing because it's actually your money. So your parents can be like, well, you're gonna do this with your money. But honestly, you don't have to, because that's your money. You made your own money and you can spend your money how you want to.
Yep.
So it comes with problems and like trouble. So you can get into more things and more activities that you shouldn't be doing.
Okay. So do any of you have a job?
Yes.
I do.
was like, I'm pretty sure 3 of you have jobs.
Yeah.
Does it affect y'all? Does it make work like harder or anything, like schoolwork?
Not really, because I don't really get a lot of schoolwork, and my job really works my schedule a lot. So,
Yeah.
It depends to me because like when I first started working, like in 10th grade and 9th grade, it was like, oh, I was working, playing football and going to school, but it's like you got to know how to divide it and how to conquer it. So now that I'm older and mature, I know how to do all three of them at the same time at a good pace. You just got to stay on top of your schoolwork first of all. That comes first. Then your athlete come first, and then the money come last. But me, I'm a hustler, so I like my money first. So it just depends on how you look at it. Just always make sure you get your schoolwork done and stay on top of your schoolwork.
Okay.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, next question. Did any of your parents like pressure you to have a job? Did they like, I don't know, like make you feel like you had to have one until you know, anything about like money or anything?
I
No.
wanted a job.
Yeah.
My mom was like, nope, you can't get one.
Me, I
Until
wanted a job. I was looking for jobs since I was 15.
Yeah.
I mean, with my situation, it was like I wanted a job, but I really wanted to play football and go like real pro. But like I'm glad I worked because it got my mind off a lot of stuff, you know, and it was like able to help me be able to get my own gym membership and my own stuff, my own car and stuff like that. So just a lot of big boy purchase by working. So you just got to work your butt off. That's how I feel about it.
Me personally, my parents didn't really make me feel like I had a job. Honestly, they're the people keeping me from having a job. So,
Yeah. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Like they'll teach you, you always have to be on time. You always have to make sure you know when you're getting paid, who's paying you. It's a lot.
The communication
Yeah.
and know how to add and subtract your money.
Yeah.
what is the earliest age y'all think would be appropriate for school, like working when you're in school?
I'll say 16.
I say once you hit that level of maturity that you know that you can keep up with a lot of stuff. So it depends. If I could have worked in middle school, I would have worked in middle school.
Yeah.
If you're very responsible and you know you can keep up with a lot of things, then yes. Probably at age 15 or 16.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Yeah.
I don't think.
That's really the only time you can really get a job anyways.
Yeah. I mean, even if you could, even if you're like mature, I don't think 13-year-olds should probably be working.
No.
Just probably
No,
not a good
I
Yeah.
was looking at 13.
just probably shouldn't work at 13.
Yeah.
Do you think students are more likely to fail when they're working?
I think it depends on your mindset,
Yeah.
honestly. Because for me, I'm not failing. I mean, if you want to make good grades, you're going to make good grades and work at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not, you got to know how to balance stuff out, honestly.
Yeah.
You do your schoolwork, then you go to work.
That's what I'm saying, because like I can't even lie. Like I ain't gonna lie, my first time having a job and working, yeah, you know you want to slack off and do this, that, and the third. Sometimes it messes with your sleep schedule, but as you get older, you realize you're gonna lose a lot of sleep and you're gonna have sleepless nights. So you might, how I looked at it, I might as well go ahead and get it out and get a maturity of it. So I just feel like you just gotta mature and know what you're doing once you wanna. If you want to make good grades or you want to fail, it just depends on your mindset, really. It's just a mindset thing.
Okay. So, do you think like children, they get taken advantage of by their like people they're working for because they're young, like they know
Yes.
that they're young and they want to work? Do you think they're taken advantage of?
I feel like with certain jobs, some people will take advantage of you, especially if you're younger or the youngest in the staff.
Yeah.
They will take advantage of you and your time. They will try and use you as much as they can possible because they know that you'll be ready to take on those hours and get all that money.
Definitely,
So-
I think
Definitely.
fast food.
Yeah.
Fast food
Bruh.
is definitely something to do that. Like,
Yeah. 'Cause
they'll literally work you.
If I got one question or one statement to tell anybody, don't work fast food, bro. Fast food is ridiculous. That's like you having a kid and another kid and another kid. It's just bad because you're doing
Too many
multitasking.
responsibilities.
Yeah, it's like way too many responsibilities. You got to do the kitchen, you got to do the window. It's just ridiculous. So I highly don't recommend working fast food.
Then you barely get breaks. Like,
Yeah.
you get a little 15-minute break.
And
And you
those-
working an 8-hour shift.
And then on top of that, you know how they really finesse you as if you work in fast food as a kid. Grown-ups get to take smoke breaks. You don't. So once them grown-ups go outside and take their smoke break, they out there 30 minutes, leaving you in the kitchen during rush hour. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. Up next, we're going to discuss how drugs affect our children's lives.
time is gonna be slow. Our life is a big black six, and time won't set us.
As teenagers progress through high school and on into college, they will undoubtedly begin to face decisions about drugs and alcohol. Parents can try to limit their kids' exposures to these substances, but they will inevitably have to make these decisions on their own. Here to talk about the stigma surrounding drugs and alcohol are Lancaster High Junior Shamariana Buford and Cassidy Tillman and Senior Fred Twetty. How do you feel about teens using drugs?
How do I feel about
How do I feel
Teens
about
using
kids
drugs.
using drugs?
Teens.
Teens.
I feel like in some cases, most can look to drugs as their sense of calmness. Because I know a lot of teens or peers of mine that, you know, smoke or, you know, not anything super bad, but smoking can release a lot of stress.
Yeah, I know drugs is like a very broad
Yeah.
word to use.
I would say it's not as bad, but some drugs, like taking really hard drugs, you know, that's
What kind of drugs are we talking about, like, though? Are we
Yeah, I know
talking-
that was a very broad statement to just say drugs, just like really just anything in general. Like most people say hard's bad, but I know a lot think like, you know, like marijuana and stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was thinking like ADHD medicine, stuff like that, to help people be calm.
Well, definitely like unmedicated.
Oh, I'm medicated.
Okay.
Oh, I just,
Unmedicated drugs.
I feel like they probably shouldn't do it. Teens shouldn't do drugs, but I mean, if you're gonna do drugs, make sure your parents know and make sure it's not nothing like really like hardcore, like
yeah.
I feel like
kill yourself drugs.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I actually feel like no one should do drugs because this day and age and all this medical grown and all this crazy stuff going on, it's just easy to get laced because a lot of your suppliers are not selling what they're telling you they're selling because people lace a lot of stuff. So I just feel like it's unsafe in general just for buying from somebody that you know from the streets. I don't feel like your family should know if you're doing drugs, but I feel like you shouldn't do drugs, nobody in general, because it's a very dangerous day and age. Selling drugs and doing drugs is very dangerous, so I don't think nobody should do drugs.
Because they're definitely putting a lot of chemicals in drugs now.
So, would y'all say there's like a drug problem here at the school?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a big drug problem.
Definitely. You thinking about it,
I
yeah.
just feel like some kids, that's an outlet for them, so when they just smoke or they drink, they just feel better, like it's a confidence booster. It makes them feel alive for the moment, but then once they come off of it, they just back down in that depression set, so it makes them have to fiend for it. It's like an addiction, it becomes an addiction to them. So that's why I feel like drugs easily get used and get peer pressure on the kids, and especially teenagers.
Yeah, okay. So, would you think like any teen that used drugs, you think they're going to be successful later on in life?
It depends on how they use their drugs.
Yeah. As long as it's not hardcore, and if they were on it bad and they relapse, then I feel like as they kept relapsing, that's what's going to happen in their future. They're just going to keep going backwards.
It depends.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just feel like, I don't know, it's just, you can go ahead, I don't know.
It depends on how you use your drug, actually, because like some of these drugs are for your mind, and like psychedelic drugs, that helps you like open your your whole mind up. But like they say with the hard stuff, no. But some drugs like weed, I mean, sometimes it helps you focus, it cures cancer and stuff like that. So it's some good benefits, but it's not good benefits.
Because it can, like weed can still fry your brain.
Yeah.
I feel like if you smoking it too much, it's just like,
Yeah.
you need to calm down.
Like once you start abusing it, it's just ridiculous. Like if
Yeah.
you're using it for like, some people need it to like help them make music, help them focus. So if you're trying to use it to help you focus and do stuff positive with it, that's good. If you're trying to use it for like, just for fun, that just gives you crackhead tendencies. And once you do that for a long time, it leads to like harder drugs. So
Yeah.
people say it's a gateway drug, but I don't believe it is.
Basically, because it's like once you like you're not able to get that high for weed anymore, you're gonna go something else.
Yeah. People fiend for their first high a lot.
Okay. Well, like, this is do you. I'm going to say, do you know anyone who uses drugs as like a stress reliever?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
personally did at one point in time in my life. I can't even lie.
Can you? Okay. So, I mean, y'all kind of answered the next questions. Do you see your peers smoke? I definitely have. So,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like our parents.
Peers.
just peers.
Oh, of course. Of course, I'd have seen my peers smoke.
Right. Do you like any of you as parents? Like, have you ever done anything, or your parents talked to you about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like with the birds and the bees, they've talked to me
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
drugs and drug abuse.
It's like, don't do it.
I mean, like me personally, my parents, they rather me not do things, but such as like drinking and smoking weed, like little things. If I'm gonna do it, they rather me do it around them because they don't want me like lost on the street somewhere.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I know parents can be different.
Yeah.
Most are like,
Yep, my
don't do
mom-
it.
Most are like, oh, come and do this with me.
Yeah.
And it's
Mm.
like,
Cause I'm gonna be like, Shamari, you don't need to do it. But if you're gonna do it, you need to be careful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just a thing, like being careful and being cautious when your parents tell you from their experience. Because first my mom told me about her experience, and then it messed around and happened to me. So it's like, listen to what your parents say. Like
Yeah.
parents know best, like especially mama. If anybody know best, mama know best.
Okay. Have any of you ever thought about using drugs, like to stop your issues? Just think like it would help.
No, I really haven't. Cause I really just cry about everything.
yeah, I haven't really thought about using any type of drug to make me feel any better. Like Shamarina said, I just cried and I feel it's like a lot of weight is put off.
Yeah.
Me personally, I just felt like it was an outlet, and it was just like a bunch of people in my family was doing it, so I was like, I want to experience it. Sometimes it had its benefits, and sometimes it had its downfalls. So like, I don't regret nothing in life, but I just feel like drugs ain't for everybody, and everybody don't really need to do drugs.
How many times a day do you think teens use drugs? I'm just gonna say like smoke.
I know some kids that can't function without smoking. Like it's
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
bad.
can't
Like,
even eat.
Especially
Yeah.
like, especially when it comes to like the vapes and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
cans, babes,
Yeah, them
booze.
they need to have those all the time.
Oh yeah, I see people in the
24/7.
bathrooms all the
Yeah.
time. You can't go into a bathroom without seeing a vape.
Yeah.
it's bad. It's
yeah,
bad.
It's
Very
crazy.
bad.
And then it's like these major companies making these flavors that they know kids gonna want to bite off of,
Yeah.
and if they can't buy it, somebody gonna buy it for them. It's just,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
bad.
You gonna
It's
find a
Push
way
come
to get it.
shove, yeah.
All right, we'll be taking a break, and up next we will discuss how mental health affects teens. Depression, anxiety, and PTSD are just few of mental health issues that teens will have to face at some point in their life. Increased responsibilities such as school, chores, finding and keeping a job, dating, and peer pressure can cause stress levels to skyrocket. Here to discuss this are Lancaster High Junior Shamayana Buford and Cassidy Tillman, and Lancaster High School Senior Fred Twitty. How much time are you spending stressed about school?
Honestly, I don't really stress about school. This probably sounds so bad, but like, cause I know most students or kids stress about school. I really don't stress about school because I'll just do my work and if I have a problem with something, I just ask for help. So.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't stress about school. Like, once you know how to do school work and make friends and become cool with teachers and knowing that you need to get zeros out of grade books, everything will fall in line. Just get your zeros out of the grade book and you won't have to stress.
You feel different, Cassidy?
Yes, I stress about school. I don't know. Mostly, I guess, because I have a little anxiety about things. It's not just academics, just with people. I overthink sometimes, so it's like whenever I hear someone saying something about someone or saying something about me or grades, I tend to stress out a little.
Yeah.
Probably, I stress out the most during school, but when I'm at home, I just have a sense of relief and not really worry about it as much.
I mean, personally, I'm kind of the opposite. I can keep like a very cool face in school. If I'm too stressed out, it's bad, but I kind of stop trying. But when I'm at home, it's so much worse, because if I'm stressed out, I know no one can see me, so I just let it out. So, I mean, it's very different for different people.
Yeah.
How do you manage multiple hobbies? Because I know all of you have jobs, so.
Well, I don't really do much. I just work, go to school, be around my friends, and I barely be around my friends, so it's really pretty easy for me.
I just feel like I just live my life on a schedule. Like, wake up, gym, school, then work, and then gym again. It's just a repeat cycle. And once I got a day off, I gym, school, then I probably DoorDash or hang out with some friends or go to a game, you know? You just gotta know how to schedule yourself and like look at your schedule and see when you got free days.
That's actually something they teach you to do in therapy, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because I've been through therapy.
I just go with the flow. I mean, take it day by day, because not every day for me is the same. So, but I do try and keep things in schedule, in line, so that I won't be so stressed out if I don't know about something. So.
Yeah. How likely is it that you are overwhelming yourself?
I was overwhelmed myself with the recruiting process. That's probably the only time I was like real stressed and scared, because
I think tests. That's the only time I really overwhelm myself.
Yeah.
I freak out and and I think I could be right about an answer and then I'm like, oh my, I'm second guessing myself, so I change it and then I get it wrong. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's the only time I'm really overwhelmed.
Testing, map testing. It's, or taking a test and it being timed.
I always, people are usually very different with this topic than I am, because I have anxiety. I've gone through therapy and everything. I used to be much worse about it, but I'm constantly overwhelmed about the smallest things. So it can be a lot.
Yeah.
But I know that it's not normal for that to be your everyday, which is why I went to therapy. I mean, y'all answers are quite normal answers. Most people don't get that overwhelmed. What do your parents think? Do any of you even talk to your parents about mental health or anything?
Well, I mean, I talk to my mom and I try to talk to my dad about my mental health. But, it's with certain parents that, with them growing up with tough parents, that they grew up the way they did, and then it'll, of course, play a domino effect on their children.
Yeah.
So it's when you try and talk to them about it, I mean, either they won't listen, they're not really they're trying to understand. I guess they're just so in parent mode that they're just kind of freaking out themselves because they don't really know how to take it. My child is suffering from, things going on in their personal life, in school. They don't really know, how to deal with it. Maybe because they didn't really know how to tell their parents.
I can really talk to my mom about anything, honestly. She always be like, oh, if it's something wrong, you can tell me. So it's really, but I just have a hard time opening up to people, so I really don't tell her.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just one of those people. But I go like tell a friend, but I can't tell her. I don't know why. That's just me.
It's just different experiences. It's like when you tell your parents some stuff, it's like they'll think, they're a parent. They're not going to think.
I'm super open with my parents. We talk about everything. Honestly, I got much worse before I got better. I did not personally choose to go to therapy. My parents kind of made me because they realized how bad I was getting. Because I don't really share about stuff. Tell my friends way more than my parents know. I think most people relate to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are your parents a reason for stress? It's not like sometimes.
Sometimes it depends because like sometimes my mom be on like she be off something. I don't know what she be off of because like literally I can come home and have a like good day and her mood will be bad and like it'll just come off on me sometimes and it's just like negative energy. So I really try to stay away from all the negative energy.
Yes. Just as with the mom thing, like I'll be such heavy mood. I go home, here she go. And here I go. My day ruined that quick.
Yeah.
And I was trying to have a good day. It really is, yeah.
Yeah, you feel the exact same. Ruin your whole mood. Just
Like she's literally one person that can just ruin my mood like that.
Yeah, I relate to that. Parents can be very stressful.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for our today's show. If you have any suggestions or comments for our show, you can contact us at the address on the screen or email us at learn.tv@lcsd.k12.sc.us. Check out our other content on our YouTube channel. Just search Learn TV or on our Comporium channel 114. Bethany Poston, and we'll see you next time on Parents Just Understand. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.